Okay. The this I'm just going to go through all the screens until we get to the third part. Ananda Valley. So, okay, we did the Siksha Valley, the prayers between the teacher and the student. For those of you who wanted to look further into this, you can do that um, online. Follow the link and visit that area if you have missed anything. And if you're interested in further uh, depth of the Upanishad, these are all the prayers that we talked about in the first part. Then we came to Brahman Valli, Brahma and the creation. And we talked about the bliss of Brahman and the Panchkosh. The Panchkosh, which is one of the most important part of this Taittiriya Upanishad. Vital breath. Okay, now we are going to focus on the Bhrigu Valli. That's the final conclusion of this Taittiriya Upanishad. The first section of the Bhrigu Valli is, well, actually, to be very honest, the whole conclusion is the conversation on Brahman. Is just establishing the fact and concluding it as per the conversation between Bhrigu Rishi and Varun Dev. So now Bhrigu, the son of Varun, as we know, approached his father and he asked him to help him teach about Brahman. And Varun said, food, meaning annam, life, meaning pranam, sight, meaning chakshu, hearing, meaning shotram, mind, manas, and speech, which is vak or vani. To him he said, when indeed these are born, when born they live, wherein when departing they enter, that seek you to know, that is Brahman. If all these factors are present, then that is Brahman. He resorted to devotion, he having practiced devotion. Now, the details, that was the statement, and the details are as we go here. The food was Brahman, he concluded. From the food, indeed, beings are verily born. We discussed the depths of this in the previous section. By food, when born, do they live? Into food do they, when departing, enter. That having known, again verily, he approached Varun, saying, but please teach me Brahman. And Varun said, by devotion, Brahman, you have to seek by devotion to know him. Devotion is Brahman. Tapo Brahmeti. He resorted to devotion. Having practiced devotion, this was the conclusion. Pran as Brahman. That life, Pran, was Brahman, he concluded. From life, indeed, these beings are verily being born. By life, when they're born, they live. Into life, they do. And out of life, they depart. That again, he approached his father. So basically, Pran is the Kriya Shakti aspect of the Anand Valli. Then we have the thought, Manas was Brahman, he concluded. From Manas, indeed, these beings are born. When it enters and when it departs. To him, by devotion, seek Brahman. Devotion, he again emphasized. By devotion, you attain Brahman. Manas is the Ichha Shakti, Sankalp aspect of Hiranyagarbha, which is, as we talked about in details in the Anandvali, the 5 sheaths. Then we have the intelligence, Vignan. From intelligence, indeed, these beings are born, and in intelligence they depart. So, by devotion again, he insisted, having practiced devotion, you achieve. Intelligence is the Gnan Shakti aspect of Hiranyagarbha, knowledge. Then we have bliss. By devotion, again, beings achieve bliss. And from bliss, these beings are born. This is a very poetic aspect of this whole conclusion of Anandvali. And that's why it's called Anandvali. Anand, bliss, pure bliss, the higher state of the human bliss. He who knows this, the supreme in the heavens, possessor of food, eater of food, he becomes. Great he becomes by spiritual luster, great by fame. Mahan Kirtaya. The most important part, never condemn food. Anam na nindayat. He shall not condemn food. That shall be his vow, his life, the pran, which is the food, the body, the shariram, the eater of the food. In life, the body is set. Life is set in the body. So the food is set in the food. Those who know this, possessor of food and eater of food, becomes great. But the most important part, never, never abandon food. He shall not condemn food. That is the sankalp. Water verily is food. Fire, Jyoti, the food eater. In water is fire. Water is set in fire. Thus, the food is set in fire. He's talking about the digestive processes. Who knows this, that the food is set in possessor of food and eater of food, he becomes great. He who does not discard food becomes great. and achieves greatness by fame, by spiritual luster. Make food plentiful. Anam Bahu Purvita. And then we have the none as to lodging he shall turn away. That is his vow. Therefore, by whatever means he should earn much food, food is prepared for him, they say. This food, verily being prepared at the middle, and in the middle the food is ready for him. This food, verily being prepared at the lowest food ready for him. As safety in speech, as gain, safety in pran and apan, as action in the hands, as motions in the food, as discharge, such are contemplations in men. Next to those referring to devtas, as satisfaction in the rain, as strength in the lightning, as fame in the kettle, as light in the stars, procreation in the immortal, and the generative organs as Akash is talking about the whole system of procreation. And okay, let him contemplate that as support. He becomes well supported. Let him contemplate that as great. He becomes great. Let him contemplate that as thought, becomes thoughtful. Let him contemplate that as homage. For him to pay desires as homage. Let him contemplate that as Brahma's destructive agent around him, die his hateful rivals and those rivals whom he does not like. Again, this is a full motion of the poetic sense of attainment, of establishing Brahma in everything, literally everything, the whole cycle of life. And finally, this one who is in the moon, the one who is in the sun, he is the one departing from this world and attaining this Anamay self, then attaining the Pranamay self, then attaining the Manomay self, then attaining this Vignanmay self, then attaining the Anandmay self, traversing the three worlds and having the food he likes, taking the form he likes. This song he sings, he sits, Ahem, I am the food, I am the eater, and I am the food eater, I am the combining agent, I am the combining agent. I am the firstborn of the existence prior to the gods, the center of the immortal, who gives me, he surely does save. Basically, that was the conclusion of this Anand Valli. And the final prayer concluding this is Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahi Tejasvina Aditamastu Ma Vidvisha Vahi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And the meaning of that is Om, may He protect us both. May He nourish us both. May we both become energetic by working together. May our study of this knowledge illumines our minds, enlighten our minds, and may there be no hatred between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. That is the final conclusion of this beautiful Upanishad. We have actually just scratched the surface just for knowledge, but in order to actually study this beautiful Upanishad, you have to go, to the depths of it. And that is like a kind of a tapasya in itself. So um, I'm just going to stop this share and take any questions that